What is up, everybody? And I am back here with another video. And today we are going to be doing what if Deku ate the Goro no Mi, also known as the Rumble fruit. Now there will be two other devil fruits that will be featured in this series. You guys will find out very soon. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. So we start our story off. In this world of One Piece. In this world of My Hero Academia, only girls can develop quirks, as boys have the gene to carry them, but they just can't never develop. Now Izuku would be born into this world as his mother is Inko Midoriya, also known as the number 3 hero. And to find out that her second born, yes, that's right, I said second born, because Inko did have a daughter before Izuku, like 20 minutes before Izuku. So she said, "Oh God, I hope this never happened. Nurse, I'd like to sign this one up for adoption." The nurse would then shake her head, as then she take the two babies into the baby room. You know the room I'm talking about. So from there on out, Izuku would be raised in an orphanage where it was only mainly boys, because nobody really gave up girls for adoption. Now these days, it was only primarily boys. Now, growing up in the orphanage, Izuku had two best friends with him. This would be Katsuki Bakugou and Shoto Todoroki. But in this one, they don't really have the parents' last name, so it's just Shoto, Katsuki, and Izuku. These three would grow up being closest to friends there could possibly ever be, with Izuku, with Izuku and Bakugou and Todoroki. They were like brothers. One another. They was like brothers, and every time one or the other got picked on, they'd help fight, even if sometimes they'd lose. That's just how family rolls. But at the age of 11, they all decided they had enough. They've all decided they had enough. No, let's say at the age of 9. Yeah, 9. They all said they had enough, as they run into the forest, stealing a couple of sake, food, and drinks. Now, once they get far away from the orphanage, deep into the forest, Katsuki asks Todoroki and Izuku, "You wanna know why I took this bottle of sake?" Izuku would say, "In case we run out of drinks." Bakugou would say, "No. I read in a book once that if you drink sake with one another, we'll become family. We'll become brothers." Izuku would say, "Huh? Really?" Shoto would say, "Huh? Let's give it a try." As all three of them would pour it in like those little bowl cup things, as they'd all drink it, immediately forcing themselves to swallow it, because if they spit it out, it wouldn't have counted. So they immediately forced themselves to drink it. And then once they got done with it, they grabbed the nearest bar of water they could find and started to chug it down. Bakugou and Todoroki and Izuku would then put their hands on top of one another, throwing them up in the air, saying, "Brothers." Now, a couple days have passed, and we see the three struggling to survive, having to hunt and look for rations, and so on. But one day, Bakugou comes back with weird-looking fruits. One looked like this. One looked like One was quite long, well, with little sharp edges, going near the tortoise's bottom. The other one was a orangish reddish fruit with swirls on it, and it had some spiky things coming from all around it, basically. In case you guys haven't noticed, well, I wouldn't have noticed either. These two fruits are the flare fruit or the flame fruit, whichever one you like to pronounce it as. I like to pronounce it as the flare fruit, and the chili fruit, or in some instances it could be called the ice fruit. Now, Todoroki would take the ice fruit, Bakugou would take the flare fruit, and Izuku would take the rumble fruit. They all three eat it, as then immediately after eating it, they start to choke and cough up. Well, not choke and cough up because the devil fruits were disgusting. But Izuku and Shadow would yell at Bakugo saying, "Did you just try to poison us?" Bakugo would say, "Calm down. It was the only type of food we could find. Now you better suck it up because these are the only food we're probably going to be getting these are the only fruits that we're going to be getting in a while." As they continue to eat the rest of it, begrudgingly. Now, a year goes by, and now they're all 10. Actually, no. A day goes by as but when they heard the fruit, they all heard the fruit's name in the back of their head. They talked about it for a minute. But yeah, nowadays go by as Izuku would wake up feeling a shock of electricity going throughout his body. As Bakugo would wake up in fire. Todoroki would freeze the ground that he was sleeping on, along with himself. They all look at each other saying, "What the hell?" As Bakugo's hands, feet, and hair was all on fire. Todoroki looked like he just got out of a cooler. Izuku just looked like static electricity. They say, we have quirks." But Shoto would say, "Hold up, guys, let's think about this for a minute. Boys can't have quirks. Why would we be the first specific three to ever have quirks?" Bakugo would say, "Duh, because we're lucky, of course." Now Shoto would say, I'd get if it was just one of us who developed a quirk, because there is that possibility that a quirk might awaken in our genes. But why all three of us? And once moreover, why didn't we develop these quirks earlier? At least not around the age of 5 or 6. Bakugo would say, "Because we could be late bloomers, obviously." Izuku would say, "I kind of agree with Shoto on this one. Maybe it has something to do with the weird fruits yesterday." Bakugo would say, "Ridiculous. So you're telling me fruits gave us powers? So you're telling me fruits gave us powers?" Shoto would say, "Yes, there is that possibility." As they'd all discuss about it, and Bakugo would come to the conclusion that they're right. Those fruits did give them weird mystical abilities. But nonetheless, Bakugo would say, "Guys, you know what we can use these for, right?" Shoto looked at Bakugo. Izuku looked at Bakugo, and then all three of them looked at each other, and they got a big smile on their faces. They all screamed, "We could be heroes!" The first ever boy heroes. They all get up and say, "Yeah!" Now, a man in a dirty gray cloak is looking down as from his little cabin in the woods, as he'd say, "Those boys, they have quirks. But boys can have quirks, which mean they probably found those 3 devil fruits I buried in the bag. Planted deep within the forest. I could have sworn I spreaded those out really good. Huh. As then the man would jump down in front of the 3. They'd all stumble back saying, "Huh? Who the hell are you?" The man would then take off his cloak saying, "Hey kids, you can call me Silver Israeli." Or whatever his name was. Silver Israeli? My bad, guys, if I get his name wrong. But yeah, Silver Israeli. They'd say, "Huh? Wait, talking about that old pro hero from back in the day? You're that Silver Israeli?" He'd say, "Bet your ass I am." They'd say, "Whoa." No, I meant, no. Not the old fuck. The old martial artist from back in the day. My bad, guys. I forgot. Silver Rayleigh is a guy. He will not be turned into a girl. If you guys have watched One Piece, I am so sorry. Yeah. My bad, guys. Scratch that. The old martial artist who was believed to be probably one of the strongest people of that generation, if not the strongest. Silver Rayleigh would say, "Darn tune I am." Now, follow me, kids. We need to have a talk. As they, as they'd all 3 go follow Silver Rayleigh, we would Shoto having a talk with Izuku and Bakugou saying, "Listen, guys, if this creepy guy's trying anything funny, we, Bakugou cutting his, Shoto off saying, we roast his ass." Shoto would say, "No, we're not going to commit murder, but we will have to damage him a bit and get up out of here." As then they'd all 3 followed Rayleigh. Now, up in Rayleigh's dojo in the top of the mountains, Rayleigh would say, "So, you kids ate a devil fruit." The kids would say, "Wait, what?" Rayleigh would say, "Yeah, you ate a devil fruit." As then he'd have a talk about what devil fruits are, and that long ago there were devil fruits in this world. That there were hundreds of them, thousands of them basically. As he would say, but these devil fruits slowly went out over time. Instead of dying, instead of reincarnating, when the users died, they slowly began to plant themselves inside the user's DNA, which caused quirks. Izuku would say, "Huh? That's incredible, but why haven't boys developed quirks, if that's the case?" Rayleigh would say, "I don't know. It's a mystery to me. But all I know is, it's not a boy could awaken their quirk. It's just the boy's, how do I explain this to you? The boy's body is too stubborn to develop a quirk because it deems itself as strong and worthy, basically. As a girl's body is more fragile and could easily succumb to the quirk, meaning that the quirk would easily resonate with girls instead of boys." Bakugou would be looking confused as Shoto would be taking this all in, as Izuku would be taking this all in as well. Now, Rayleigh says, I sense a lot of potential within you 3 boys. So how about you guys stay here with me, and I can train you. Hell, I'll even get you enrolled into a school." Izuku would say, "Really?" As Rayleigh would say, "Hell yeah." So, for the next few years, Izuku, Bakugou, and Todoroki are all in middle school. They are enrolled in middle school at the age of, first they did, 5th grade in, elementary, and then they went up to 6th into middle school, or at least that's how it works down here for me. In some states or in some instances, it goes, from 6th grade in elementary to 7th in middle school. But down here it works, 5th grade is the end of elementary and 6th grade is the beginning of middle school. So they'd all be enrolled into a middle school where Rayleigh told them, unless it's 100% necessary, never go around showing off your powers unless it's necessary. So they'd be bullied and picked on a lot by some of the girls, by a lot of the girls. Bakugo wanted to show them what's what so bad, but Shoto and Izuku always grabbed his shoulder saying, no, it's not worth it. As they'd attend school, and for the final year of school, the teacher says, so I see we have 4 students who are wanting to go to UA High, huh? Is then an arrogant girl with greenish blackish hair with red eyes would get up saying, yeah, teach. Actually, no, not right now. Put that character needs to be saved away for later, because, I just realized something. Yeah. 4 students want to go to UA High with a silver-headed girl with blue eyes would say, yeah, teach. I'm going to UA, and ain't nobody stopping me. I'm the best in this class. Now, which one of you ladies think you have the guts to attend UA? Because I want to see what you're made of. As then the teacher would say, not ladies, but Izuku Rayleigh, Katsuki Rayleigh, and I'm sorry guys, my throat was a bit hurting, and Shoto Rayleigh. Everybody in the class would say, what? As then all the girls would burst into laughter, some with some of the boys. But some of the boys looked at them, throwing up thumbs up, saying, you guys, I hope you guys can get in their head. So then the arrogant girl would walk up to them, slamming her foot on their desk. Slamming her foot on Izuku's desk, saying, so, you 3 losers think you guys can get into UA? Huh. Don't make me laugh. As then her eyes would begin to glow as she'd pick Izuku up from off the chair. As then Izuku would say, that's a nice color bra you're wearing. As then she dropped him on his head saying, wait, what? As then she slowly stepped back. Bakugo and Shoto would then begin to laugh. As most of the boys begin to laugh as well, asking Izuku what color was it. As then the girl would get hella mad as then her quirk would begin to activate. As then she shoot out electricity. Yeah, she does have no. Not shoot out electricity, but she'd stomp on the ground with the floor slamming into them with the stone and the floor slamming into them. As then she'd look down to see that Izuku dodged it before the attack even happened. So if you guys don't know who Silver's Rayleigh is, in One Piece he is a master of hockey, also known as the right hand man to the Pirate King himself, Goldie Roger, meaning he was quite powerful. One of the best in hockey manipulation, basically. So Izuku would have used observation hockey. As Bakugo would say, huh? Izuku, she's trying to kill you. If I was you, I'd use it. Because Bakugo has wanted to use his ability so bad but it's just Rayleigh and his brothers always told him not to under any circumstances. Oh, guys, and by the way, to show their sign of brotherhood, they all dyed their hair black, except for Shoto. He only dyed his red side black, as he felt something special, as if somebody was guiding him with his right side of his hair, so he kept it white. As then the girl would say, "Huh, looks like we have a little fast fucker on our hands, huh?" As in the teacher would say, "That's enough. Calm down, or else you will have to go to the principal's office." Girl would say, "Huh, fine." Now, in case you guys don't know, this girl's name is Rachel Wiseman. Her family is from America, or at least her dad is, so she inherited an American's name, Rachel Wiseman. She's basically going to be the one who's replacing Bakugou. Basically. Now, the end of the class would happen as outside the girl would stop them, all three of them, with the crowd surrounding them. The teacher saw, but they didn't do anything, as they just saw it as kids roughhousing. Or should I say, the girls roughhousing with the boys again. They thought nothing of it. As the girl would then begin to put stone all around the ground, putting it on her fist. Huh? You guys seriously think you can get in the UA, huh? Don't make me laugh. As this girl has the ability to control all forms of rock, even purified rock, or at least not all the way purified. For example, such as metal, steel. The only thing that she can't really bend, or should I say move, is titanium. Or should I say, what was it called? Platinum? Platinum? Basically the most purified metal on Earth. I forgot the name of it, though. It's all about the only metal she can't bend, or should I say move, to her will. The girl would then say, "Huh, you guys are dead meat." As then she'd stomp on the ground as her fist and hands would begin to be covered in stone gauntlets. As then three goons would come up from behind her. One of them having quirks to grow their nails, and the other having the quirk to give her basically like little sharp fins on the side of her hands. They'd all walk up close to Izuku and Bakugou and Shoto, as Bakugou would say, "Guys, I'd say now it's about the time we use it." As Izuku would say, "Fine, since you want to use it so bad, let's use it." Shoto would say, "You guys don't." As then Izuku would, and a burst of electricity would be behind the girls. As Bakugou would say, "Hell yeah!" As in his entire being would erupt into electricity. As in his entire being would erupt into flames. And it would say, "You guys are such a hard-headed. I swear, what am I going to do with you?" As in, Shoto would then again to prevent freezing temperatures. As then he stomped on the ground saying, Sub-Zero. With the entire ground that the crowd was on being frozen in an instant, freezing Izuku and Bakugou, saying, "What the hell did I tell you guys? Not to use your powers?" As then the girl would say, "Wait, what the hell?" Everybody would say, "What the hell?" As then they'd all see that all three of the boys that they've been knowing for a while now, they've been picking on, had quirks. And not only that, they seem to be powerful quirks as well. As Shoto would say, "Huh." As in he realized what he just did, looking down to see his hands and face is covered in ice, saying, "Rayleigh's gonna kill us." Then Rayleigh would get a call from the school saying, basically telling him about what happened. Once they get home, Rayleigh would basically just beat the shit out of all three of them, basically. They're like as a butt whooping, but like as tough love beat the shit out of. But yeah, a couple of months go by with Rayleigh training Izuku, Katsuki, and Shoto to the absolute limit, making them do things that he rarely ever made them do, pushing them. Now, at the end of this, Izuku has managed to learn the Great Conqueror spirit. Bakugou is actually Bakugou is the most efficient in armament hockey. As he's strongest when it comes to armament hockey. Stronger than Izuku and Shoto when it comes to armament hockey. Shoto would be strongest when it comes to observation hockey. On a level so strong that he could almost basically see into the future like the one guy did, but almost doesn't mean he can. All he can do is predict people's attacks and their patterns. And Izuku is Conqueror's Haki, because Rayleigh thought it'd be best to train Izuku on Conqueror's Haki specifically, since he is the only one out of the three who has it. But his Conqueror spirit does not work under any circumstances. Will not work on Bakugou or Shoto, because their will is equal to his, meaning that their will just cancel out his, basically. Like their drive to like become great and become the top heroes, that's their will is equal to Izuku's. Bakugou would say to saying, guys, we made it so far. I'd say we're probably one of the strongest people already. Shoto would say, if there's anybody else like Rayleigh out there, not close. But yeah. Izuku would say, Shoto's right. But hell, we can improve that, can't we? And then they'd all put their fists together. As then they'd all smile, saying, let's become heroes. As then the next day, the UA entrance exam, as they're walking in, everybody is looking at them. Teachers, everybody, students, all the girls. What the hell are they doing here? Are they crazy? Some girls start to laugh, saying, you guys must be trying to get yourselves killed. Then they walk past, ignoring every last single each one of them. Now, there was never a rule that boys couldn't try out for the UA entrance exam. It's just that every boy that has failed, because they never really trained to put in the work to try to get in UA. They just take the UA entrance exam thinking it's going to be easy. So, Izuku within, as other schools does have a no boys policy, but not UA. As Izuku would then be walking into the building with Shoto and Izuku as Izuku is about to trip and fall when two people grab his back, Bakugou and the brown-headed girl. They say, as they all three of them were constantly saying, or I could say, oh, my bad, sorry, I see you had that. It's just, when I saw somebody falling, I just had to help, you know? Izuku would say, yeah, right, nice to meet you. As in, Izuku would be standing on his tippy toes trying to look down at something. As then, Shoto would then punch him in the back, saying, cut it out, you perv. As Shoto would say, hi, nice to meet you. The name's Shoto Rayleigh, and these two are my brothers, Izuku Rayleigh and Bakugou Rayleigh. As she would say, Rayleigh, as in the martial artist Rayleigh, like one of the strongest in his generation. The strongest in his generation. As they'd all stay say, yeah, that's our grandpa. As he'd say, oh, well, nice to meet you. As they'd all three, as then they all, yeah, and then as then they'd all three head into the, then the four would then split up with Izuku going in, Bakugou, Shoto, and Izuku going into the building. Now, during the announcement, a blue-haired girl gets up, cutting President Mike off, saying, Mrs. Mike, it has come to my attention you have forgotten to talk about the fourth robot that you put in the paper. If this is a mistake on UA's if this is a mistake on UA's part, I'm highly disappointed that this is such a prestige school would make such a minor mistake. It would make such a mistake. And then she'd also cut down to the boys as saying, why are you guys here? Are you trying to get hurt or something? If I was you, I'd highly recommend you leave. Bakugo would get up with his arrogance saying, oi, I'm sorry guys, that was cheesy, so I'm so sorry. But yeah, hey, who the hell do you think you're talking to? As then Shoto would say, Bakugo, it's enough, that's enough. We'll always be looked at as the same. Just let it go. Bakugo would sit down begrudgingly, as he'd still be mad at the chick. What the hell that petty bitch thinks she's talking about? I'll show her. I'll show every one of these petty ass girls. Izuku would then say, hi. So Izuku would get on the table saying, hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Izuku Midoriya. And I'm sorry for my brothers, but I can't really see because you're taller than me, so could you probably get down a little bit lower for me? And Shoto would then smack Izuku on the back of the head saying, enough, stop trying to harass all the girls. Then Izuku would say, but I'm not. All I want to do is be on her level. We all know what you're trying to look at, Izuku. Bakugo would then laugh as the girl would then be flustered, sitting back down, screaming at the boy. So President Mike would say, As I was saying before, I was really interrupted. She'd talk about the 0 point and how it really doesn't give out any points, and it'd be best if you guys stay clear of it. They'd all agree to that, as then it is now time for the entrance exam. Now, all three of them will be put on separate blocks, as because they're from the same school. All three will be put on separate blocks. On Izuku's block, we see the man rushing in faster than Ida herself. All the people saw was a stream of electricity go right past them, but they barely saw it. As then they see three thunderclouds coming down and striking 5 robots at a time. As then they see the boy standing up. As then they see the boy flying up in the air, destroying robots left and right. In Shoto's block, all Shoto had to do, as soon as President Mike said stop, go, Shoto stomped stomped on the floor, freezing half of the entire freaking city, basically. As Shoto would say, now break. As then he stomped on the ground, destroying at least 30 robots at a time. With additional of some buildings he destroyed as well. Bakugo, on the other hand, he's going like a mad dog. Fireballs left and right, here and there. Destroying 35 robots in this process. And he just keeps on going and going. He's not stopping. The teachers are all looking at these three boys like, huh? Is that even possible? Since when can boys develop quirks? This shouldn't even be possible. As then Nezu would say, "No, now, girls, calm down." As in, let's just see how they'd handle these. As in, Nezu would push the red button 3 times. As then, would press the red button as 0-pointer would come out. Now the 0-pointers would come out as Izuku, Shoto, and Todoroki would say, "Hell yeah." As then Izuku would say, "I've been waiting to try out this movie for a while." Shoto would say, I had to hold back due to all the people that was here. But since they want to run away like cowards, I don't gotta hold anything back." Baki, on the other hand, will be smiling as if he was a villain, like a mad dog. And then all 3 of them, Shoto saying, "Ice Age, Ice Dragon," as in a giant dragon, 2 times the size of the robot, will come down, will go towards the 0-pointer, taking its entire top half with it, as long as freezing the other half of the city. Baki would say, "Now, let's try this." As then he put both his hands together, tightening up his flames, tightening them up to create some sort of plasma blast out of them. As then he say, "Heat wave." As then he shoot it off, destroying the entire top half of the villain, as a fire blast would be going so high up in the air, it's almost basically reaching the atmosphere. And once Izuku and Shoto see it, they think bakugou. As then Shoto would say, "Hell, why not signify that I'm here too?" As then Shoto would put his fists on the ground, making a giant ice pillar. Izuku would think, "There goes Shoto, huh?" As then he think, "Hell, let's do it." As then he'd hear a scream. He see it's the same blue-haired girl. As then Izuku, without even thinking, would instantly rush towards her, lifting the rubble off her. And he'd say, "Hurry up, get to safety." And she'd say, "I can't, my leg is hurt." And then Izuku would then grab her. Within an instant, he'd rush her within an instant, he'd put her down somewhere else, far from the robot. As then he'd say, "Electric Dragon, 250 million volts." As then a giant thunderbolt would then crash on top of the dragon, destroying it completely, leaving nothing but the legs left. As then you'd see, it's just these 3 giant pillars of fire, ice, and electricity. As then they'd all scream out, "Hell yeah!" The teachers were standing there shocked, as asking, What is this? What is this power?" As then they'd say, "Boys with quirks that are this strong? Unbelievable!" As then the boys would continue to go home the next day. As then a couple of days later, and that's where we leave our story out, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one, and I can already tell I'm finna post this one, unlike a lot of ones I've not posted. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, tell me what you want next, and I will see you guys in the next video.